folks, welcome to the SmackDown Podcast. We are your hosts, Kyle, and the wrestling encyclopedia himself, Mr. Benji. What's up?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
Oh, man, just coming out of here, this pay-per-view it was pretty all right, man.
Yeah, man, good. Better than it had any rights to be. But folks, thank you for joining us. Like I said, at the SmackDown Podcast, we are your one-stop shop for all your WWE main card reviews, recaps, predictions. We normally cover, we cover Raw, SmackDown, NXT 205 Live. That is debuting this week. We even cover pay-per-views. That's what we're doing tonight, covering WWE's Stomping Grounds. You can find us on YouTube. You'll have to search for us currently. Just look up the SmackDown Podcast till we get 100 subscribers. So please, if you are new watching us on YouTube, we would appreciate it so genuinely if you could just subscribe. Hell, if you don't even want to turn the notify bell on, I'd love for you to. But you got to help the little guy out. Please hit subscribe. Let us get to 100 subscribers so we can get that nice custom URL. Otherwise, you can find us on the audio realm. We are on Podbean at smackdrawpod.podbean.com. And also, you can find us on that little platform that is kind of new and upcoming. I think it's called Spotify. Yeah, we're on Spotify now.
What?
Yeah, man. Rob got us on there, dude. I give Rob a shout out every time, dude, because it tickles me. I'm on Spotify, bro. I fangirl out for that shit.
That's what's up,
man. But yeah, tonight we're reviewing WWE Stomping Grounds. If you didn't watch it, no surprise, there was no build. If you did, Jesus Christ, wasn't it a good show? Like, damn good, man. But that's what we're going to be getting into here in a moment. But anyways, Benji, welcome to the crew, dude.
Thanks, man. Thanks. It feels good to have a home. I mean, good to have a place to, be chill with. Yeah.
That's kind of sad. Have a home, right?
That might have come out.
Oh, man. For you folks, we're only on episode 14 or 15. It has been exclusively myself and Mr. Rob Roode. But we just welcomed a third member to the group, Mr. Benji. Had a couple requests. We couldn't turn you down, man. Honestly, you're probably the most talented member of us three, so it just made sense to bring you aboard.
Yeah, it's kind of like Stomping Ground, You had low expectations, and then every now and then you get a little gem.
Damn, kind of just blows you away, right? Damn. No, man. Glad to have you aboard. We've been definitely wanting to expand our horizons because currently we've been only covering Raw and SmackDown. And granted, if you're not new to the wrestling scene, they don't really have the best reputations, So it's going to carry over into the podcast realm. From what I gather, NXT and 205 Live kill it. And so I'm personally excited to start up these new shows, man, covering this untapped roster that we can really dive into. You can educate myself and the public.
We're gonna smack it raw.
Smack it raw. Jesus. Oh, cheap plug. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the show, man. We'll start off like I said, the overall thoughts on Stomping Grounds. For one, what the hell does Stomping Grounds even mean?
It means kicking ass and taking names.
Kicking ass and names. Yo, that's what I can count on you for. I've been racking my brain how to work that into the show all fucking day, and you just did it perfect for me. Thank you. Thank you. What a tagline, man.
Great Balls of Fury was like.
Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire. I even said it wrong. Fuck.
No,
yeah,
I mean
that was probably the worst. This is a step up from that.
Well, for pay-per-view names, Great Balls of Fire was the worst. For taglines, I think it goes to WrestleMania. Oh God, which WrestleMania? The Ultimate Thrill Ride, Everything was
Oh,
like the theme park. Fucking- oh my
damn.
god, dude, that takes the. Oh, I cringed for 2 months straight every because they had to drive that tech line home. I don't know how Michael Cole sleeps at night, just knowing what a shill he has to be. You know, who knows? Maybe that paycheck helps him sleep. Who knows, man?
So this Stomping Grounds is replacing Backlash, I think, right?
That's what it did this year.
Yeah.
Traditionally, Backlash is what follows WrestleMania. Instead, they hot-shotted Money in the Bank. So it really wouldn't make sense to have Backlash
True,
follow
true,
Money in the Bank, considering it's built around WrestleMania. So yeah, that's I guess so. We'll see if it's a one-off. Right now, my initial opinion, like my initial feeling is
true.
that it's gonna be an annual thing because of how well I believe it's gonna be received.
Yeah.
In WWE, man, anytime they get good publicity, you know they love to drive that junk into the dirt. Um, that's the thing is, I'm gonna hate myself for how much I like this show. Probably 2 weeks from now, because WWE is gonna have Raw and SmackDown just brag, you know, for
Yeah.
how
Just
good of
keep
a show
bringing
they
it up.
put on.
Yeah.
You know, but it's true, man. You know what? They deserve it. They deserve it.
They're just gonna they're gonna grab that point and just stomp it into the ground for sure.
Oh my God! Good. God dang, man. We can always count on you for the segues. Jesus. Oh well, you know what? Screw it, man. Let's get into the show.
Let's
First
talk
up, we had the
Brood's favorite goddess. Lacey Evans.
No,
Isn't it Lacey Evans?
the kickoff show. Did you watch the triple
Oh,
threat? Yeah,
man, I'm so pissed they put that on the pre-show.
yeah. Considering how good of a match it was,
That was a pay-per-view show right there, man.
oh my God, we had Drew Gulak and
Tony
Tozawa.
Nese
Well, Tozawa
and
challenging for Tony Nese's
right.
cruiserweight championship rather. I'm gonna let you kind of walk us through these first couple matches because I was having some internet issues. I didn't really, my stream didn't become very fluid until actually after.
Yeah. Well,
Honestly,
if nobody saw it, go back.
nobody's.
If nobody watched, because nobody watches pre-shows usually. If you
No,
didn't see this
you're right.
match,
You're right. You
you
don't.
need to go back and watch this match. This was man, probably one of the better matches of the entire show.
So let's just put it out there. Let's go ahead and say who did they outperform? What match did they outperform?
I would definitely say they outperformed Roman Reigns McIntyre for sure.
Yeah,
The main
no.
event,
Oh yeah,
they,
easily,
they
and
beat
the
the
main
main
event.
event.
Yeah,
Um, I would put that up there with one of the better matches for sure.
yeah.
Um,
No, they did,
but
man.
they killed it, man. And Gulak, he's been. These three have been here from 205, so almost pretty much since the beginning. Even back, you go back into the Cruiserweight Classic. These three were there, and Gulak never really got that shot. And to see them finally go with him is
Gulag, Mister King Arthur, in the in the cruiserweight freaking. What was the name of the tournament? Was it just the cruiserweight classic, right?
right.
And he
Cruiserweight
come
Classic.
out in
Yeah,
some damn medieval like garb, dude. It was
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
how far he's come, dude. I love. Now I haven't. No, this is obviously your territory. Is he still doing the PowerPoint
No,
presentation?
no, no.
No,
He's more grounded. Not so much in the comedy aspect, just more serious. Just like
he's not picketing
technical wrestling.
anymore.
No, no, nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
Um, no, he's more. I don't even know if you ever saw his match against Matt Riddle in
It's been a
NXT.
long time. I saw a GIF of him against oh my God, I'm gonna butcher his name because I can't think about it.
Toshida?
No. I actually like just you help me out. I'm gonna extend an olive branch here. The dude who air bands like air guitar, air
Oh,
keyboard, Buhagen or something.
Rick Bugenhagen. Yeah.
Buhagen. I saw a GIF of Buhagen or however you say his name, just
He's not
jamming
Rick
out,
Bugans,
man, jamming
Yeah.
out, and then it cuts over to Gulak, who looks so agitated because he's a serious
Yeah.
contender, man. You
They
know.
flew him out from wherever to come down to Florida for NXT to have a match, and he gets paired with that guy.
It was such an awesome class. I wish I had watched the match, but I felt like I saw everything I needed in that one GIF alone.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
as far as character, like defining character traits. But
He's definitely taken that Cesaro role of just being like this serious technical wrestler and being entertaining with it, making it work
and you
for
know
sure.
what? And he's also part of a dying breed in the submission specialist.
Yes,
That's
yes.
one thing I've always appreciated about guys that are like submission technicians. You don't really see too many of them anymore that are defined by their submission techniques. I think
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan is one of the biggest ones, and even himself, you don't like a submission artist isn't the first thing that comes to mind when you say Daniel Bryan. You
yeah,
know?
you'd have to go back pre WWE to Daniel Bryan, and he was more technical. And then even if you know like outside WWE, like a Zack Sabre Jr. type guy, like just straight technique,
Yeah,
straight submission, the whole match, and
yeah,
it's you just like captivated by it. It's so entertaining. But
love
yeah,
it,
you're right.
man.
It is definitely a dying breed. There's not a lot of guys interested in that kind of style for
Well, at
sure.
least not in the WWE realm of things. I've seen a couple indies out there. You nailed it. Zack Sabre Jr. is probably the most well renowned one, and
Yeah,
then
for sure.
I forget this guy's name. You might know him, but he's called like the Octopus. He's like a shorter fella too. Um, God, I can't remember his name. If it doesn't come to you right away,
Nah, it'll come up later.
okay, but yeah, this is another fella out there too, man. That's really well renowned for it. But yeah, that's one thing I liked about Gulak is Gulak carries that submission techniques like with pride, and that's good to see nowadays. But the winner ended up being Mr. Gulak himself. He got the pin on Tozawa. How did the match end? I missed the ending. Did you catch it?
Um, I I was also having technical difficulties
Yeah,
at that time.
I know it
I
was a
was
pin,
it was
man.
like the climax of the match, and then I have technical difficulties. Next thing I know, Gulak won. Like, damn
Yeah.
it!
And they were driving it home that he didn't pin the champion, so they're probably setting up
A
a
rematch.
rematch feud to happen with Tony Nese. I kind of had a feeling that Gulak and Tozawa were introduced to this match as one of them was going to be the fall guy because I I want to say I can't. I'll have to look at the predictions later, but no, I had Tozawa winning. I knew one of them was going to win by beating the other one. I knew Tony Nese wasn't taking that fall,
Right,
but I
right,
just didn't
right.
see him holding on to it. It was a good match nonetheless. But then that brought us over to Mr. Rob Roode's favorite person of the evening, who he got plenty of, and we'll get back into that later. But opening match between your Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch against Lacey Evans. Dude, how vicious is Lacey?
Yeah, she's out there, man.
Dude, you see how she had Becky racked around the ring post
Corner pull. Yeah, yeah,
with her hair and I was oh my god, dude, they were working really stiff, dude.
yeah.
They were working really. I it made
There was
me
a
it made me
there was
wonder if there was some real life heat going on by how
nah, I doubt it.
yeah, no. It may come down to what we were talking about earlier. How like backstage, they may have had like a pep rally, like go out there and kill it, go above and beyond,
Right.
because they were bringing the
Hmm.
heat, man. They really were.
Yeah, so that was definitely the more stiffer match, and there, I don't know. There was me personally, I saw some of his little missed moves here and there.
Yep.
But once they got into it, they really each other.
Like I said, I was having technical issues for the first almost half of the pay per view, but everything I caught, man, looked like it. At no point did anyone look like they were phoning it in. I felt
Right,
like
right.
everyone took their matches seriously. That was the impression I got, and I
Yeah,
think that's what translated to the audience and to the viewing members is
it
every
it definitely had to be like a point to prove, especially being such a underselling pay per view and people writing them off, and
exactly.
all of this AEW stuff, and just
Yeah, no,
you
no,
know,
no. I mean, it all really came in.
yeah,
WWE had to come out swinging because they honestly haven't had great PR lately. In so many different aspects,
Yeah.
and this was the first match that kind of, because the pre-show you can always kind of count on for them to put on a good match that nobody watches. But then when he gets the main card, it's so easy for you to write the show off because so many times it does feel like they phone it in. And I
Hmm.
will say this raised my eyebrow a couple times. I was like, oh, maybe Lacey's coming out with something to prove. But this feeling of aggressiveness really carried through the whole night. But the match did see Becky Lynch win with the disarmor once again after quite a good match, and we're gonna say that probably throughout the night. I mean, maybe you'll criticize one of the matches, but to me, like I was impressed with
It was
all of
pretty
them.
good. I was very happy to see Lacey Evans lose personally.
Me too, man, because Lacey Evans sucks. You hear that,
Just
Rob?
to piss off Rob.
But yeah, man, Becky won with quite a powerful performance. Um,
For sure.
Speaking of good performances, how about that vignette of Mr. Ali?
Interesting angle they're going with. I
You-
was not expecting that.
He's like, what? Like it cut out halfway through it, but what I was grasping was, for one, well produced, well shot on a DSR camera, not your typical WWE cameras.
Right.
And what is he supposed to be, like a vigilante now? Like he,
I love that they're shooting his shots in Chicago. That's
yeah.
for up one, you know.
Oh wait, because that's where you're from, right?
Yeah, yeah, Chicago. And
Nice.
that's definitely where they're shooting their his vignettes and everything. And yeah, they had the lady drinking or doing all that stuff, whatever, and he comes in with basically becoming the light, and then getting
Mm-hmm.
them out of that stuff and everything. I don't know if it's more superhero territory or just more of
Like role model.
yeah type of thing. Which even now like I've been seeing online whatever people still come at him with like terrorism stuff and everything, and then the way he
God,
responds and handles
man.
everybody, the way but he doesn't like just shut them down, the way he handles all that, the way he talks to them and tries to educate them, and it's not in a demeaning way or anything, but it's like he just responds to everything with such poise and grace. It's just something to aspire to be for
Yeah, and
sure.
it's hard, man, to see stuff like that because to me that doesn't. It's like he shook that image of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
someone Middle Eastern descent a
Hmm.
long time ago, and to
Yeah, and
hear,
yeah, I didn't think I thought people like were obviously it still exists, but I didn't think I'd see it recently. But people still come
yeah,
at him with all kinds of crazy stuff, and he knocks all that stuff down pretty good. Um,
yeah, and I
so
mean
like it,
that was part of what made him big.
yeah,
Earlier, and what got him first known was, I think, like part of storyline, but he acknowledged the preconceived image that he had, and I
yeah,
think he used that instead of as a negative to make him like a cheap, bitter heel.
hmm,
He was able to flip that and make him into such an awesome face. Like Ali is awesome, and in these promos, I don't know if he's given like the complete creative freedom of him, or if he's got some producers working with him. But whatever they're doing with him, like leave it. That formula is working.
it has to be him because it's just too specific of a voice, a point of view for it to be anybody else.
It's crazy too, to think that like how many people are struggling creatively, and then you see some offshoots like Ali, by all definition, should not be as big as he is right now.
Right.
He's one of the first people to shake the 205 Live mold and get out of that glass ceiling. I mean, dude, Neville quit as champion or
Yeah.
as, you know, um, after losing his belt because he felt like he could never overcome the 205 Live glass ceiling. And then
Right.
here you have Ali, who, if I remember correctly, never won the cruiserweight title, right?
No.
No. And now he has like brushed up against the world champion from time to time, like with his couple matches he had with Daniel Bryan when Daniel Bryan was champ. It's
Hmm.
crazy, man. to think, and you know what, and I mean, good for the guy, dude, because he's got something there, and hopefully they dial in on it, and it doesn't just pass. But it was a cool vignette, man. It was a really cool vignette. Um, then here you'll have to, if you could, my stream cut out completely for the segment of Paul Heyman coming out of Baron Corbin's office.
You didn't miss much.
I didn't miss nothing.
No, they came out, looking for interview. He came out of the office, said his, Paul Heyman stuff, just foreshadowing that the Brock Lesnar was going to come out and everything. And then he leaves. Then Corbin comes out. They ask him if he found a referee. And then he says he found someone who can be impartial. And they basically left you with that.
Yeah.
There wasn't much to it.
Okay.
It was more just trying to throw people off with the Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because going into the show, I was convinced Paul Heyman was going to be the ref.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking Heyman or Lesnar for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm so happy they went the way they did, and we'll get there later, because it seems to be that was the most decisive, or the most that caused like the most controversy of the night was that special ref spot. But we'll get into that. Now this right here, I missed like the whole thing except for like one or two spots. But the we're talking about the New Day versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Apparently these guys tore the house down, and I'm pissed that my stream at this point was its worst.
Man, you missed out, man. Soon as the bell rings, you got Kevin Owens super kicking Woods, taking down Big E, and it was just like they started at 100. As soon as the bell rang, you get super kick. Owens hits Xavier Woods with the sickest frog splash you'll ever see. They were just hammering at him down, and he keeps kicking out. It almost seemed, it was such a fast pace. It gave you the impression that this match was going to end in like less than a minute. That's how fast they were going.
I did catch the one spot of Xavier hoisting Big E up on his shoulders. That got me tickled, man.
People sleep on Xavier Woods, man. Dude got strength, man. He hoisted that guy up just basically with his neck. That's insane.
Yeah, if you wonder what we're talking about, is I think it was Owens that was down. Xavier, who was a little beat up, Big E stands in front of Owens and kind of motions to Xavier, and Xavier gets behind him and starts to hoist him up onto his shoulders, but his back gives out, and they both kind of like hype each other up. And sure enough, Xavier, much smaller than Big E, is able to essentially squat Big E up onto his shoulders, and then drop him with a splash that looked awesome. It looked so good on the Kevin Owens, and popped the crowd huge. That was my eye opener for the night. That's what got me going. Okay, this isn't a throwaway pay-per-view. These guys are putting effort in, and at that point, I had confidence that the night was going to carry on, and it did, man. The result ended up seeing that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn won, which I think was the right decision. I don't remember too much about the ending, honestly, just like I said, because the stream sucked. It cut away, and then it cut back, and they were celebrating on the ramp, so I don't even know who pinned who with what. I assume Xavier Woods got pinned, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the fall guy for New Day, unfortunately. Because Xavier Woods is such an awesome talent, man. It sucks.
Oh yeah, man. But no, they came out on fire. It's like there's not very much lull in that match at all. They really just really stomped a mud hole in their match for sure.
Well, you can always count on them to. Like, you really can.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, I've said it going back, man. You watched their feud with the Usos, right? All of I think like 2017, I want to say it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. For like 5 or 6 consecutive matches or pay-per-views, whatever it was, you went in thinking there's no way they can outdo the previous match, and they did every time. They raise that bar. New Day is such a consistent talent with the tag team division that you can always rely on to deliver fucking awesome matches, man. Awesome matches all the time.
Yeah, and then Big E for coming back from that knee injury, he didn't miss a beat at all.
No, it almost feels like he took a vacation.
Yeah,
He took a
pretty much.
vacation to hit on Becky Lynch's mom, and he came back to work. You know. But oh my gosh,
Big E, Big E.
no man.
But yeah, two decent matches right off the bat.
Yeah, dude.
That,
They just bounced off of each other so well. And you know what else bounces really good? Ricochets.
man,
This is stupid. I'm so sorry, people. That's the stupidest thing I've ever come up with. Oh my god. Oh man.
graceful Ricochet, man, comes in, trips on his entrance, but that's okay.
Did he? I missed that.
And the ring is a little trip, was no big deal.
Oh,
But
for real?
it was like a little stumble, like it's not a big deal. But,
He didn't fall on his face or nothing.
No, nothing like that.
Okay, it wasn't like JBL or Batista.
Oh, Batista wrote something.
Batista ate crap, man. And then, God bless him, he came back and went around and re-entered again. Oh,
Batista
man.
can do no wrong, man.
Oh, God,
But
no.
this match, I have to say I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know if they were gonna go another angle, a quick finish angle, or actually coming off such a hot tag team match. I
Yeah.
didn't know if they were gonna try to slow it down or what they were gonna do, but it was pretty intense, this match for sure.
Yeah, man. I for one, I'm gonna brag. I called this one. I feel like this was the sleeper. This was one of the bigger foregone conclusions that I said, nah, I was gonna go the other way. I'm gonna call it right now. Joe is cursed, man. Joe cannot hold on to a title, no matter what.
If it's injury or just someone else getting hurt, it's just always something.
They're not gonna let him hold a belt. It's kind of like Sasha Banks, when 2016 Sasha Banks when she was feuding with Charlotte Flair, she could not defend her belt, and neither can Joe. Joe cannot hang on to a singles title, man. It was a good match. So I called this earlier. I said that a lot of people were saying they believed it was going to be a squash match, and I'm happy to say that I was wrong, because the way Joe is normally booked, it's either it's a one-sided beatdown by Samoa Joe, or he gets rolled up, and gets pinned. This, luckily, we got a back and forth, well, arguably back and forth match. It really was Joe beat Ricochet down for the first 75% of the match, and then Ricochet came back for that last quarter of the match and was able to hit his beats and ultimately get the win. He did beat him with the 630 after, just like I said, a hellacious beatdown from Joe, man. Joe was shutting him down left and right. The commentary team was saying that Ricochet needed to get the pace going, because it was going at a slow pace, and it really looked like it was going to wrap that coquina clutch up 5 minutes in and going to call it a day. But
yeah, Joe was beating him down.
too bad, man. And
just dropping him on his head, just like vicious shit, man.
yeah, that's the thing about Ricochet, man. That's awesome. Is that dude? You can bounce him all over the damn ring. That dude can sell, like Ziggler. He can sell, man. Boy, the thing is he can give it too, and it was good, man. And I was happy. I mean, there's you could book this for either guy to win and it'll come out good. But I was happy to see Ricochet, for them to kind of pull the trigger with him, and get that singles title going, especially for what we got teased later in the night. Boy, got me goosebumps. Oh my God, I can't wait to get to that. But at the end of the day, yeah, man, Ricochet is your winner and your new United States champion. Can't wait to see where that's going to go. Who we got next? We got we got the SmackDown titles, and the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. I just realized Where the hell were the Raw tag titles?
Oh, true. I forgot all about them.
Forgot, dude. They got too many belts, man. You seen that picture showing all the champions in WWE right now? There's like 16 of them.
Yeah, that'd be fine if they just used everybody.
Right.
You like this, the women's tag team belt. That's pretty much non-existent at this point, unfortunately.
It's a damn prop, and it's not even a used prop. It's that just makes me sad. I don't even want to talk about it right now because I'm gonna.
Right.
We'll save that. We'll save that rant for something else.
But yeah, Daniel Bryan definitely wants to, at least from how he's acted, definitely wants to make something out of this tag team run for sure. Because tag teams are a little bit underused in WWE.
Yeah, I was talking to at Clean Jab, who, if you guys are on the Twitter realm, man, he is awesome. He's one of the most articulate fans of both WWE and MMA, which is hard to find because usually that's like oil and water. You don't mix them. But I was talking to him. He asked who he thought was like one of the best indie darlings to really come out, and I think it's Daniel Bryan. And the reason being is, no matter what role you put Daniel Bryan in, dude, he can execute it to perfection. These who were the previous SmackDown tag team champions?
The previous SmackDown tag team champions were.
You see what I'm saying?
Damn, I can't even remember.
Exactly. But now those belts feel important. Not to mention, Rowan feels important. Like when's the last time Rowan felt like he belonged? As
he definitely stepped it up for sure.
Yeah. And then the match with Heavy Machinery. If you watched SmackDown this previous week, they were intriguing. I was excited to see them when they're usually like a throwaway gimmick. They're often compared to the Bushwhackers, and who gave a damn about the Bushwhackers, Daniel Bryan just knows how to draw the right amount of attention and to make things feel important, man. And dude, I love this guy. Like, and I wasn't even a big fan of him. Like when like WrestleMania 30 came around, I didn't really know too much about him. It wasn't until like his injury return and then subsequential heel turn that I was like, dude, this guy can do no wrong. Like he's effing amazing. Who else can get the crowd to chant "We recycle" or "Drive a Prius"? Like seriously.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god, man! No, it was good. It was good. What's your take though on all of this, Benji?
Well, I've been watching Heavy Machinery since NXT, so they were a little green. They were a little comedy act, but then to see them finally let loose in this match and just show what they can actually do it was pretty cool.
Would you say they rise to the occasion?
Oh, definitely, especially Otis and
Tucky.
and I like Tucky.
Tucky.
He left everybody tuckered out for sure.
Jesus Christ, man.
But I think definitely this is Rowan's had a lot of opportunities for sure, and none of them have really stuck. But I feel like I don't want to say that it's his last shot, but it's definitely up there, and he definitely stepped up in this match.
You would have thought he peaked with fuck, man.
When he was with the Wyatt family, and
yeah,
even after that, just that like little singles run he had. But
yeah, you would have thought he peaked, man, in the Bludgeon Brothers and the Wyatt family. You're like, what? Like you don't fit with anyone else outside of the original Wyatt family stable.
Right.
And then he's paired up with Daniel Bryan, and initially you're thrown off, and then now it feels like such a fit,
Yeah.
and all power to him, but Daniel Bryan just has that ability, once again, coming back to him, because it just reminds me of Team Hell No when he paired up with Kane. Just he has the ability to take the odd bedfellow dynamic and make it work. The only other person that comes to mind that was able to do that consistently was Goldust.
True.
Where you could just pair them up with these oddball tag teams and still get them over and make them feel right, you know. And but Daniel Bryan does it in a non-comedic way, and that's what I think is really cool. Because everyone else always rely on getting laughs because like look at us, we're so odd, you know, as a pairing, and you laugh at it. But no, he's able to do it in a goddamn like save the planet. Wait, like I mean, what the hell? Like who gets that gimmick over of like vegan heel? Like seriously, man. Like I don't know, man. I could go on about this forever, dude, but
Cody Chotsky and I don't know what else, man.
dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. But
Yeah, then to me, like Otis, I don't know. To me, he just reminds me so much of a Chris Farley type guy.
he's such a meatball, dude. You know, he is such a damn meatball.
The dude can go, man.
Oh my god, I want to see him suplex all fucking day, dude.
Yeah.
Like his suplexes look so like the dude looks like he is built to suplex people.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to how Taz was built, but if Taz was
yeah.
like 60 to 80 pounds heavier. Really, I don't even know if that's even the correct weight. But I mean, yeah, he's got that like low center of gravity, but he's clearly got to be like high 200s, pushing maybe 300 pounds. And he just looks like he could suplex the crap out of anyone, dude. Pair him up, dude. Have him suplex Braun Strowman. Like have him do that.
I'm pretty sure you can do it, man.
I'm
That's
positive.
crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, as awesome as Otis was, you know, catching Rowan in the cross body, dude. Tucker stole it, dude.
Oh yeah.
He stole it. He hit a moonsault, which for one terrified me, because, dude, like
He landed right on Daniel.
he landed on Daniel Bryan, but he wasn't supposed to, and it was like his
I-
shins.
Personally, I thought that Daniel Bryan should have rolled towards the turnbuckle and him
Yeah.
something instead of away.
In the moment, though, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
it's what terrified me was, so I mean, to set the scene, Tucker, who's like 6 foot, let's say 5, about almost 300 pounds, does a awesome, amazing moonsault, and Daniel Bryan tries to roll away to get out of the way, but Tucker's legs come down on Daniel Bryan, and it happens so quickly. But the first thing you see is Bryan grabs his head immediately. And I didn't even have enough time to register, like, oh, God, dude, did he land on his damn head? And so it looked scary, but the way the rest of the match went, it was pretty cool. And then he hit like a cross body, right? Off the top rope to the outside to Rowan.
Didn't even hesitate, just went straight
No,
forward.
he went straight to it, man. Like I said, these matches, man, they all came out with something to prove, and it paid off, man. Paid off. Like, it was such a good match. Brian won it, though. Brian won for his team. Rolled up Tucker after he hit that crossbody to the outside. And your Planet's champions retain their titles. However, Heavy Machinery looks like a much bigger deal after tonight than they did going into it. And hopefully they get to keep that momentum. You know, I hope so.
Hope so, man.
Yeah. What we got?
This match was followed by, I believe.
Well, we got an ad for Extreme Rules, but that wasn't anything. But we got Bailey and Bliss up next.
Bailey and Bliss.
Yes. Okay, so
What'd you think about it?
I really wanted to get your take on it.
Don't be shy.
I loved the sunset flip bomb into the corner that Bailey hit. And then but what really stuck out to me was Bliss showed off a level of wrestling I, for one, have never seen her do and never thought she could achieve. I think Bliss was the star here. She did about like 4 or 5 reversals, which were similar to like I don't know how to explain it. Like the like luchador type reversals where they wrap around and
Hmm.
look like they're doing hurricanranas and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, Bliss Bliss showed off a level of talent, like physical in ring talent tonight that
Hmm.
I just like I said I wasn't ready for, and it popped me big time. Like when I saw her, like and she chained about 3 or 4 of them back to back, and so overall it was a surprising match. It ended how I thought it would end,
Hmm.
but they performed at a higher level than I ever anticipated. Um,
Would you say she pretty much out wrestled Bailey?
yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think she did. Where Bailey I think shined in this match. Honestly, I would give her that sunset flip bomb into the corner. I'm a huge fan of that spot. And then
Hmm.
she gave a little extra oomph on that Bailey to belly in the end.
Yeah.
Like that Bailey to belly is typically an easily ridiculed finisher. She made it look like it counted. You know what I mean? Because Bliss weighs probably 90 pounds soaking wet. You know, so
Yeah.
she's probably easier to toss around. And Bailey put some oomph on that damn finisher tonight. But no, I think Bliss was the star here, easily. And then, not to mention, after the match was done, like I know she probably had more heel moments in the match, but by the time the match was done, I was almost sympathizing for her, even though it was booked for her
Hmm.
trying to cheat. I almost felt bad for Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, even though it was so traditional of the heel trying to cut corners to win, you know, and stack the odds. It's a really weird match, man. Actually, now that I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it, would you agree?
You don't really know where it's gonna go at this point because
Yeah,
it could be like Alexa Bliss turns face, Nikki Cross turns heel, angle out of nowhere,
right.
or she could just snap on Nikki Cross at some point, or
Which
you
I
just
was
don't know.
wrong. I predicted an in-ring blow-up between the two
Hmm.
after the match because I predicted Bailey to retain, but then I was further predicting Alexa Bliss to at that point to blow up on Nikki, and it looked like the complete opposite. Bliss was
Yeah.
distraught and Nikki was consoling her. Um, made him look,
Normally, by WWE standards, they would have probably done all that right away. But
yeah,
as they're not known for continuity or patience with a storyline, but it seems like they're taking their time with this one,
yeah, man. I don't
which is
know,
really weird.
man. I was hot for it though. I don't think. Do you think the feud's gonna keep going?
With Bailey and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah,
See, the thing to me is like, if Bailey is a SmackDown champion and
and
Alexa Bliss is on Raw,
man, you got to forget all that.
like,
You got to forget that they
is
are
she gonna
riding
fight
that. They're
anyone?
riding that narrative so loose right now.
I would just like to see someone from SmackDown like get a shot at it or whatever, like just some new opponent. I would think someone like
Dude,
even
they
Mandy Rose or Sonya Deville would be like ready for it.
Dude, they are 2 months away from renaming the titles to just red belts and blue belts, so they're not brand specific.
Yeah.
The red tag team titles, the blue tag team titles, the red women's championship, the blue women's championship.
Um. I mean, knowing that they will probably keep it going, but I could also see this just like moving on from this. Like she needs to feud with someone else at this point because we
Yeah,
at this point it's been a lot of Bailey and Alexa Bliss at this point.
yeah. I think the feud, realistically, and if you go by what WWE normally does, it's probably gearing up for Alexa and Nikki. Um,
Which is fine. I'm cool with
yeah,
that.
I want to see them cohesive. You know, I like we were
At
talking.
least for
I
like a
like I
bit.
like the odd bedfellows things, like you know,
Mm-hmm.
and and I feel like the manipulative Alexa role is just wore out, you know, and almost typecasting her. So I would
Mm-hmm.
like for there to at least be like a month or two of them clicking, you do some
Mm-hmm.
tag matches, you know what I mean, and then really, really,
Maybe like challenge for the tag team belt at some point.
Again, you know what I mean, and not have it a throwaway angle like it was
Right.
on Raw this week. But yeah. But I mean, honestly, realistically, what's going to happen is Bayley's going to move on to a SmackDown women's feud, and then Bayley and Nikki Cross are going to butt heads, and then it's probably just going to be Alexa turning on Nikki. You know, is what we're going to get out of this. But there's room. I mean, if creative just takes a moment, there's room for like some good stuff here to take place, you know. So we'll see.
You're very optimistic. That's great.
I try to be, bro. I really try to be. You know, it's the only reason why I can keep watching the show, because I sure as hell ain't getting paid to cover it. Next up, man, was what gave me goosebumps, like legitimate goddamn goosebumps. Oh my god, man! Ricochet backstage, getting his pictures taken, looking hella good with that U.S. title, by the way. Carl Anderson and Lou Gallows show up. You know, kind of like they're like trying to act all cool, but they're kind of bothering him type, like halfway bullying him, but not really. Trying to get him like too sweet in a shot, and I'm thinking like Ricochet, fucking, it's the Bullet Club, bro. Too sweet. Like, dude, like, you know. And then in the middle of it, who shows up? AJ Styles, and they get a club photo surrounding Ricochet. Definitely foreboding, so foreboding in how they surrounded him in the too sweet photo. And then AJ says, "I'll see you tomorrow night." And boy, we got a hell of a good feud awaiting us, man. Oh my god. I was so happy, dude. So many people, I think, were predicting that I think Joe was going to go on to feud with AJ again, maybe Seth, but really people were sleeping on AJ, like what he had next. Dude, I don't care if he's going after a secondary title. You know, he held the world championship for plenty amount of time. It's not going to hurt him chasing the secondary title, bro. What do you think?
I definitely think that a match like that could definitely elevate a belt, like the United States.
Oh yeah, have AJ chase the United States Championship.
Right, that'll make you feel important.
Yeah,
if someone like AJ's going for it, for sure.
And especially if they allow for him and Ricochet to have really quality matches.
Just let it loose, man. Just let them do what they do. Don't feel like you have to control it. Yeah, they'll kill it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, man.
Oh my god. Yeah, dude. I was stoked. Like that little segment alone got my blood pumping. Now I'll have to
just blowing, blood pumping. Yeah,
man. it was to the point where, you know, it really makes you sweat. And you know who else likes to sweat a lot? Shane.
Let me hear it, baby.
Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon.
Who wasn't even technically in the next match between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre.
Somehow ended up bloated by the end of it.
Jesus Christ, dude. That dude ends up blown up so easily. Now listen, I had to run an errand. I had the match's audio playing, so I'll let you kind of walk us through how this match went, because this I really only heard the audio version of everything that was going on.
So you legit just heard the match basically on the radio?
Not the radio. You know,
you just heard audio playing. So you're listening to the radio.
I mean, yeah, essentially, yes.
What was that like?
It was hard to keep up.
It was hard to keep up.
My wife came home from a super long day of work, said she wanted a bottle of wine, and I was like, okay, I got the supermarket's like 2 minutes down the road. So nice. I threw the network on my phone, but obviously I'm not going to watch my phone while I'm driving. So course, I could just, I just heard the match.
Smack Pod, we drive responsibly.
Yes. Text messages, it can wait. Okay. Wait, that's AT&T. What the hell am I talking about? I don't know, man. Y'all do what you want to do, man. Just buckle up. Oh Jesus,
But
you got
yeah,
me all
so
messed
you
up.
had to put your seatbelt on and buckle up for this match because it was intense. And
I'll fall out of my damn chair, man. God dang it.
this is a beautiful car wreck of a match, man.
Yeah. I heard the crowd turning on it.
It started off pretty slow. You thought it was going to be the same angle with Shane McMahon interfering, and then you had Roman have to chase him outside. Um, and that's it was a lot of rest holds and stuff, and that's kind of where the match was heading. Um, and then once Shane McMahon got taken out, and then they really got into the match. Just hidden. If you thought that you saw a stiff match earlier with Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans.
Lacey
These
Evans.
these two dudes were really hammering each other, man.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude, they were just going at it. And then right at the time they were losing the crowd, they start, they pick up the pace and just start going at each other and just drew the crowd back in. Um, McIntyre is an amazing talent, first of all, and then if you have a talent like that, Roman Reigns, despite what you might think of him, he can step up and match that for sure. And you had these two guys just going at it back and forth, and it was just like one big move after another. It was just a back and forth thing, and but at certain points you had the crowd just going all out chanting for Roman.
That was one
And
thing I did notice was during Roman's entrance, he got
mhm,
booed. And
mhm,
then I did notice during the climax of the match, people were cheering Roman. Like, because
yeah,
Shane, I did notice that Shane got involved towards the end
mhm,
to try and screw Roman over, which my initial gut reaction, since I didn't see the match, was, man, F this match, and people would turn on it. But instead, like you just said it, man, the crowd were cheering for Roman. They wanted the babyface comeback, so they were invested, which impressed me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
you got to think in 2019 it's pretty easy for people to turn on a Roman Reigns match, you know?
Yeah, it's just the
Um,
way it's always set up, and that's
yeah,
kind of how it started out. Like, oh, okay, this is just gonna be another typical Roman match. He's gonna get the odds are gonna be stacked against him, and he'll rise to the occasion. But this one was, I think they were conscious of that. It started at that match off. I honestly feel they started the match off purposely slow so they can draw the crowd back in and build them and build it up and then draw them in and then finally have them pop towards the end for sure.
yeah, man,
It was a smartly booked match for sure.
good for him, dude. Good for him because that crowd was hot by the end. Like I said, I didn't get to see much of it, but I obviously I heard it, and they were hot for Roman to win, man, and that makes me happy because it wasn't Roman's fault, that the way he was booked and
Right.
and portrayed, and the man does have a lot of talent to offer. Is he the perfect superstar? No. There's a lot of other guys that can do aspects of the game better than Roman, but that doesn't mean like he's terrible either. Like Roman is solid. He's a very well-rounded guy,
Mm-hmm.
and when he's used properly, he's damn entertaining, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm always happy when you get a crowd that can get behind him when he deserves it, when he's out there
Right.
working his butt off. So yeah, Roman overcame the odds. Shane tried to get involved multiple times throughout the match, even striking the ref at some points. To
Which, by the way, he pulled that ref as the ref was counting. He pulled that ref out so hard he fell straight on his knee. That ref couldn't was hobbled throughout the rest of it.
Was that legit?
I don't know if it was if he
I heard
exaggerated
I
or
heard them
anything,
commentate on it. Yeah, that his knee might be
but
blown out.
he didn't even stand. He couldn't even stand up to raise Roman's arms towards the end. He just
Wow. Yeah, he might have something. Shane's not that
yeah,
safe, man. He's not like
dude's reckless, man.
he is, bro. Like, listen to anybody that had to take punches from Shane McMahon. Like,
Oh yeah,
especially Chris Jericho. Dude, Chris Jericho's so outspoken against Shane's punches. Like, he's so outspoken. Oh my god. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to get negative. I don't want to talk shit about Shane. Just even though it's so easy right now.
doesn't pay me. I'll talk shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like, it was a solid match. And again, just another solid match, basically. Just back and just one after the other, solid match.
Yeah, man, as good. I mean, as good as you're gonna get it out of the two guys. Um, Later on in the night, we were hoping it was gonna end, but it looks like it's gonna go forward. We'll get back into that a little bit later. But yeah, Roman Reigns overcomes the odds and pins Drew McIntyre after a spear. Following that, we had just like how the pay per view was way better than it had any right to be, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler's match was much better than it had any right to be. Um, this was probably the match I was looking forward to least in the
Really?
out of the whole card, and it was I hate to say it, but I'm gonna put the blame on Dolph. Dolph just kills it for me, man, and it's not that I think poorly of him. It's just he has been so misused for so long that you cannot. It's hard to get excited for anything that he's involved in as a singles competitor, and that's how
Hmm.
I feel. But damn, these guys. I mean, and it should have been easy to see coming, but they came out and delivered tonight, man. In that cage match, they were definitely even though the match didn't have much build during the match, I liked how I think the commentators were the most effective in this match because they drove home the point that throughout the years we've seen Dolph and Kofi match up many times, and Dolph typically is the out wins in the end, and then
Hmm.
also Kofi apparently has never won a cage match before.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's what they were driving home as well. So they were really trying to bring statistics to the match, and just like, dude, Kofi was arguably the underdog, which is his whole appeal, anyways, as the champion underdog. It's just so
hmm.
is Dolph, but man, it was good. Um, it was a good match. Uh, they did you catch in the end um, before Kofi had that dive to win? Did you catch the kick that Dolph hit him in the face with though?
Oh,
Dude, that was the most brutal thing I've seen.
yeah, man. Everything was on match, man. That was a brutal kick.
Dude, uh, so they had a great match back and forth. I mean, you know what you're gonna get with Dolph Ziggler and Kofi. You're gonna get super
Yeah.
kicks. You're gonna get zigzags. You're gonna get high spots. People getting thrown into the cage. But one point in particular, um, at one point actually prior to the big kick, I did think it was cool that Ziggler actually super kicked Kofi almost out of the door. you know, so
Nice.
that tickled me. But at another point, Ziggler was trying to crawl out the ring, out the door to win the match, and Kofi grabbed his legs and was pulling him back in, and Ziggler, like upkicked with both of his feet, and
Dude, that was vicious.
Jesus, dude, that hit so flush. There was no need to sell. Like, it was a legitimate kick. I could tell by the ref's reaction that the ref knew that seriously connected, and we might need to take a moment to reorganize the finish of this match.
Yeah.
But damn, Kofi's got a chin, bro.
Yeah.
He's got a chin. Uh, um, damn. But so he ended up suicide diving, like Ziggler after Ziggler kicked him.
That dive out the cage.
Jesus,
Man.
dude, Ziggler tries to crawl out the cage, Ziggler tries to crawl out the cage after potentially knocking Kofi out with a serious kick to the face, and Kofi, in a panic, just runs and suicide dives through the ropes over Ziggler to land on the ground to retain his title bit. But
Man.
dude, it
As he
was
dove, his leg caught on the top rope.
he just
Like,
fell. He just fell, dude.
just straight on his face.
Surprised he didn't land on Ziggler. It's a good thing he didn't land like on top
Yeah.
of Ziggler. But
What was up with Ziggler having the American flag on his ass?
he's always had that, and that's
But this time it was like heart shaped.
jeez, I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know what it is?
What is it?
That's America's ass.
That's a very That's stupid. Oh my god. I can't right now. What time is it? It's midnight.
11.
Jesus. Oh, it's 11 for you, midnight for me. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
I was not expecting that dive out of the cage, man. That
No,
was just,
dude, nobody was. That was easily the most surprising finish of the night. Or surprising spot, however you want to label it.
man.
I did come away from that match though. You cannot take any other cage match seriously now. Where
After someone just dove out the
yeah,
door.
you can't, because now if you have any damn sense, pretty much 75 to 85% of the roster has a suicide dive into their repertoire. It makes so now technically if almost anyone else in the roster outside of like your serious heavyweights is involved in a cage match, that should be the number one thing they do. Just like have the door open, suicide dive out. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's just me. I was just never a fan of having a door on the cage, anyways.
Oh no, me neither, man. Me neither.
Yeah, it just defeats the whole purpose of it. Because I always thought, like, if someone's climbing, why don't you just run out the door?
Yeah. No, I think Rob and I touched on that too on our Raw or SmackDown episode last week,
Which you guys should check out.
which everybody should check out. But no, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It's redundant, man. Like, it's cool as a tool. I didn't mean for that to rhyme.
It's cool as a tool, but it's really outplayed, and everyone just looks like a fool. I got you.
Jesus Christ. Stupid. Oh my god, and we got a host.
Bars.
Oh my god. No, man, it should be used. It should be used by heels. However, they should treat it like the Hell in the Cell. That the door is caged or is chain locked. They run a chain through it. They lock it. Only heels, they get the key. You know what I mean? And they add drama. But now it's just a preset rule. Like, climb out the cage or walk out the door. And they make them sound like they're, like, equally difficult. Like, no. Like,
Right.
obviously. And, the thing is typically, if I remember correctly, the way the match starts, typically one of the opponents is lined up next to the door. You know what I mean?
I never thought about that. I never thought about that. You're right.
Just practice all day long. Like, before the match starts, they practice for like 3 hours straight of how to like just quickly like grab the ropes and like sling themselves through the door, because it's never locked. Yeah, it is silly. It's
Sure,
just
you would think they would at least start them, opposite door at least.
yeah, like neither opponent's next to it. It's just one of the dumber
Yeah.
oversights.
One of those things that has been around that no one's really paid attention to, but that needs an update for sure.
Absolutely, it's part of the criticism of WWE insulting the intelligence of the fans, and that's part of like the ire of a lot of the longtime WWE fans is man, they treat them like they're stupid, man. Like there's no logic in a lot of stuff. But anyways. We're hating on the product now by this point. No, the match was good. The finish was creative as hell. Oh man, it was good, and it set us up for the main event of the night. Let me check. Was there anything prior to the main event though, like
I
segments?
think you just went straight into it. If I remember
Yeah,
right.
Dolphin Kofi. Oh well, we got backstage interview bot. Started to interview Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon, and all they did was set up a handicap match with Roman Reigns on
Oh, I missed that.
tomorrow
Okay.
night. Yeah, which just proves that they're just going to keep the match going or keep the feud going. Awesome. Can't wait for that. But the main event time, you had Seth Rollins taking on Baron Corbin with a special guest referee. Man, dude, so much speculation. Who's going to be the ref? How are they going to get away from Seth Rollins just destroying him with a chair? How are they going to get around this damn hurdle
Mhm.
Dude, did they not deliver?
I
Oh
I
my
don't think
god.
anybody was expecting that at
Dude,
all.
there's nobody. Dude, if anybody says that they predicted who that ref was going to be, bullshit, dude. Bullshit. No
Yeah,
one
there's no way.
saw Lacey Evans as the special guest referee. Dude, I lost my stuff. I was laughing and I was happy. Um, unlike the crowd, man. I was happy. I told you. It made sense. It made sense. How do you get
Yeah,
around Seth beating the ref down with a chair? Make it a woman. You know, he ain't going to beat down a woman no matter how pissed off he is. He ain't going to do it. You know?
true. And then they hammer home the point that it's
Yeah.
she just had a match with his
With his
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. That was a little silly. But, like I said, it made sense, though.
yeah.
I like WWE to make sense. We just got done saying how they treat us like we're stupid and shit don't make sense, you know? And then they turn
Yeah,
around and they do something that makes sense. Like it logically ticked all the damn boxes. Crowd turned on it though. There's
of course.
after the crowd, man, you damn spoiled bitches. Watching that damn stuff live. Who went into Stomping Grounds thinking that they were going to put on as entertaining or even close to as entertaining of a show that they did tonight? How
Right, right.
dare you turn the second they just put something in the heels' favor, man? Like y'all should have turned on Shane. You should have turned on the Roman match. If you're going to turn on any damn match, you know, that
Yeah.
shit made sense, man. It was not warranted for them to turn, but I think they came around towards the end. I think they did.
This is how usually how it goes, you know.
Yeah, but man, it was your
As much as people don't like Corbin, I just think that dude's amazing.
really.
Uh, the way he pisses people off is just hilarious
He
to
is
me.
good, Ben. He is
He
good.
gets under people's skin. Like people are triggered left and right about him, from his gear to just the way he speaks. Every little thing just pisses people off.
He naturally comes across as an asshole. They
Dude is
in
cool as hell, but yeah, he plays up that asshole role for sure.
what was it that WWE show that would highlight
Breaking Ground.
Breaking Grounds? Wasn't it Scott Hall came on to one of those episodes and was like, man, they tried to keep you a face until they realized you were an asshole. You know? and but with Corbin, no, he plays the role great. I've said it a million times before, man. He reminds me of the Miz when Miz was early in his career.
Oh yeah, just that everyone just hated him. Just that they were like, get this guy off my TV.
And
You
then he
know.
won him over with his work ethic. And
Hmm.
because really, if you were to judge Corbin on his work ethic alone, you can't hate the guy. He consistently shows up. He does his job. He's good in the ring. I can think of plenty of people who are way worse in the ring than Corbin is. You know, he's got one of the damn best finishers. Not to mention one of the best signature moves. The deep six and the end of days are
Man,
amazing, amazing moves. You know, by all means, the guy should be a star. It's just the fact that he comes across as a pretentious Applebee's waiter that just rubs people so wrong, dude. You know, it's crazy, man. He's Rob's favorite wrestler too.
is he for real?
No, Rob hates his ass.
Ah,
Just- oh, Rob hates him with a passion.
I
I
think
asked.
he'll come around. He'll come around.
I think so, man. I asked Rob. I said, "Hey, man." I said, "Who would you rather get rid of, Shane McMahon or Baron Corbin?" The obvious answer's got to be Shane McMahon. You
Right,
know?
right.
No, dude. He was like, "I would much rather see Shane on my weekly television broadcast or broadcast than Corbin." And I was like, "Dude." It's like you. I was like,
That's deep.
"Rob." Yeah, man. I was like, "Man, you gonna get us canceled, Rob?"
But yeah, the odds were definitely against Rollins for sure. And he had fast counts, and then Lacey Evans changing the count out rule and then making it a no DQ match, and it was
No countouts, no DQ.
so,
Yeah,
just so against him.
it
And
was
I thought,
classic
okay,
Attitude
he,
Era
he,
stuff, man.
yeah, yeah,
It really harked back to Attitude Era stuff.
yeah. It just he's not gonna like curb stomp her or anything, but
I
it
thought there
was
may have been a chance. I mean, because with Nia Jax at the Royal Rumble, they broke down that mold. You
yeah. I
know,
think they didn't pull the trigger on that. They got a little scared.
well, Nia Jax looks like she could beat up men. And I mean,
True.
not taking anything away from Lacey, but Lacey has. It just sounds terrible, but Lacey just does come across more feminine than Nia Jax
I,
does.
I don't know about that. I just think that they see as Nia Jax as a larger opponent.
It's true. That's
She
true.
take the hits or whatever. But Lacey's a Marine. I'm sure she can take hits.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking from like if you could picture either of the two wrestlers doling out choke slams to male opponents, Nia Jax is probably the one that you're gonna picture doing a choke slam.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's my example, but that was the first thing that came to mind.
But, whatever's in your inner thoughts, man, just let it out.
I'd rather not.
Okay, that's good. Then we'll talk about. So yeah, everything was in his favor, and I thought, okay, I don't know. I guess part of me thought, I just bought in at this point. I'm like, oh, Rollins really gonna lose like this? They're really gonna make him lose like this? And then, I thought, well,
About
Becky
halfway
hasn't
through the
come out
match,
yet.
you knew you had a feeling like
Yeah, I'm
Becky's
like,
gonna
what-
get involved.
She should get involved. She hasn't come out yet. Okay, she's gonna come out now. She still hasn't come out. So I'm like, maybe they're gonna subvert our expectations. Maybe they're not gonna
Yeah.
go that route,
No, you're right.
right? And then soon enough,
Once
they got.
I'm gonna say once Lacey
Evans
put her hands on Seth, you knew.
give him 2 slaps, 3 slaps, turns around,
Low blow,
right?
bro. She reached his
After she-
guts, man. Like, damn, dude.
So after that, the line was crossed, and here comes Becky Lynch to save the day. Goes right at Lacey Evans, takes her out.
Yo,
Rollins does this. Go
I
ahead.
don't mean to cut you off, but you know how you mentioned like update like how they do cage matches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Can we update our low blows?
Oh yeah, I was thinking that.
Is
yeah.
anyone buying the overshot uppercut low blow anymore?
Overdid it with Nakamura for sure.
But
Almost
can we-
made it his thing for some reason. But yeah, like,
But
if
can
you
we just
think about,
update
like,
how they're performed? Can we like? I'd
if you
much
go
rather just
back
see.
to like if you go back to like Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, it's just a quick little kick right to the nuts.
Yeah.
like a realistic little quick kick, not the whole like elongated thing. Because as a guy, you know how it hurts. You know how
Nakamura and AJ at one point, man, they legitimately kicked each other in the nuts. That double count out or whatever match.
just over the top.
Bro, they kicked the hell out of each other's nuts in that one. I don't. Okay, that's overdoing it.
Right,
But
right.
the uppercut where you come from behind and your fist like reaches their goddamn rib cage. Like, I don't know,
You
man.
know what would have been better? She has the woman's right. She might as well just have given it to his nutsack.
Yeah, man. Y'all know how to sell punches. You're professional wrestlers.
Just a quick tap.
Just
solid
punch him in the
tap.
dick, man. Just sell it good,
Punch him in the dick.
Just punch him in the dick. I can't stand the freaking that overreached uppercut, man. It's so like I don't know, man. I might be grasping at straws here, but to me, it looks a little dated. It looks like a really dated move. But I'm sorry, I digress, man.
No, you're right, because she hits him with it. They always hit him with it, and then they gotta wait till the camera pans around to get the full shot, and it's just, yeah, you're right.
It's just you know what I mean.
You
It's
just you just want a quick little nut tap, that's all.
I think
Get
we're
you. I
we're
understand.
all grown. We're a little bit more educated on how nut shots work, man. It doesn't have to be overly sold.
Yeah,
Shoot,
just
man.
Give you what you want. Give me a nice little nut shot here. Just get me going. I got you.
Let me see like a speed bag, man. There's like a rhythm bag, just da 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 da, just like 2 or 3 of them.
Right,
From
that's it.
behind. Fuck's sake, no, that's stupid as shit.
But yeah, so then after that, Lynch comes in, beats up on Lacey. Rollins gets the upper hand on Corbin, hits him with a curb stomp. The other referees come in to separate Lynch from the Lacey Evans, and then
Right.
the initial referee, which caused Baron Corbin to lose the first time, according to him, was the referee that took over as the head
John
referee.
Combs.
Yes,
Yep.
sir. And not a normal, MO of WWE, keeping details and keeping continuity with the storyline.
Continuity, man.
Right. Little details like that go a long way.
I have a feeling John Combs is going to be the new generation's Earl Hebner. Like, I
I could see
bet you,
that.
man. I'm going to call it now. It's early days, but I'm going to call it, man. John Combs is going
I,
to be
I
our
could
Earl Hebner.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so like Rollins curb stomps him, gets the win, and then I, in my romantic, self, thought, oh, they're gonna, he's gonna embrace with Becky, they're gonna raise each other's arms, and then,
I like how Becky was portraying this chauvinistic male in the relationship.
right, right,
They embrace and they show affection, but she's the one, like, she slaps Seth's ass and she's like lowering the ropes for him to get out because you're thinking they're gonna damn like make out,
and I
and like
was waiting for that. That's
force it
just
down our
my whole
throats.
night was waiting just for that one camera zoom in on their kiss and true love exists and all that stuff. And I never got it, man. And this just goes to show you that sometimes life is just a big boot that's just gonna stomp you into the ground, and love doesn't exist.
it's gonna be, it's it's gonna be some stomping grounds. That's what life is.
Life is stomping grounds, man.
But that's our show, dude. I do like what they did with. I do like how they. So I mean, the fact that they had to go ahead and put Becky and Seth's relationship, that's gonna draw criticism from people because a lot of people don't want their kayfabe to mix with real life stuff. It
Right,
rubs them the
right.
wrong way. But I like how they did it, man. Because they didn't do the whole cliche route of even though that's what you said you wanted them like kissing and stuff. Like no,
Of course,
Becky,
doesn't any man want that in their
dude,
life?
Becky is the man. You know what I mean? So you
Little,
cannot
yes.
have her be Jesus. Damn, I'm trying to think of a word that I because other words are coming to mind. She just doesn't want to play second to Seth. You can't have her play second to
Right.
Seth. You know what I mean?
They're
With
on equal grounds for sure.
exactly. So having her like slap his ass and make him freaking blush, and it sounds so stupid that I'm saying this out loud now. And then hold the ropes for him.
It's
It was done.
fascinating,
It
man.
was done right. You know what I mean? It was done right. Whatever, dude. I can live with it. And my overall impressions of the show was a great show, man. Not even a good show. It was a great one.
And you know what? It didn't even drag like 4 hours or six
No,
or
I don't even
it
know
just
how long was it. Do you know?
I, six. You know what? I don't 6 to 9, about 3 hours. I think like it was a typical pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was good. It was really really well
Just
done.
action, action. Talking where it needs to be, maybe, but action. Keep more action and more action, and then you just go through it. Versus you have your show and you just like promos for like 30 minutes. It's just it was long enough. It's just what everybody wanted for sure.
It was good, man. It was easy to digest. You know what I mean? It really was.
Hmm.
WWE should really uh, take a look at what they did tonight and build off that. And build off what they did this last week. What they did with Raw, SmackDown
Hmm.
arguably wasn't the greatest show, but it wasn't terrible. And then leading into tonight's pay per view, it was very enjoyable. And WWE should take that formula and just build off of it, and just don't overdo it, and then don't sleep. Like don't damn phone in. You're
Hmm.
creative. You know what I mean? Just keep the momentum, man. Hopefully they do good because we're wrestling fans. At the end of the day, we just want to be entertained.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us can agree we don't want to hate a product. I want to enjoy WWE. AEW's on the rise. I want to enjoy them. I want to
Hmm.
enjoy both. I never want to turn on a television show so I can damn hate it, you know? But yeah, man, it was good. It was good.
It was good.
Benji, do you have any questions for the show?
I did get one question from. Let me see, what was this person's name? I got a question from at Juno Nova, from Brazil. Look at you getting international.
Did he type you in Portuguese or Spanish?
He typed me in Portuguese, and
Portuguese.
he. I'm assuming it's a he. Uh, okay, they typed me. Do you
Obrigado.
guys?
Is that thank you?
Obrigado. Yeah.
Obrigado. Oh yeah. Hey, obrigado. Thank you. Go
So they
ahead.
typed me. Do you think that proper buildup is important for a show, or can a show still be successful without any buildup?
Well, I mean,
Which we kind of touched on a little bit here and there.
off
But you go.
camera. Yeah. It just
Oh.
it's how you define success.
Hmm.
I bet tonight when you go back and you look at the viewer count, probably didn't do that well. Um, and if that's what you're basing success off of, then you're right. You can't. But if but can you put on an entertaining show as like a standalone product with almost no build? Tonight proved you can. And I think so. I guess it's just how you determine the definition of success.
That's a good take, man.
What
Good
about you?
answer. Um, I think buildup is important, but if you focus so much on the buildup that when you finally, get there, and you're so focused on the buildup that when you get to the where you need to be, and there's not doesn't results
You
into
built too
anything.
much hype and
Right,
you can't
right.
live up to it. Yeah, you can
It,
suffer there.
yeah, it's sometimes people focus too much on the foreplay. Like foreplay is important.
I need you to tell that to my wife.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
ew.
Oh.
It's
Fuck, I
my
almost got
sister
through this
telling
whole
me
show without
she's
saying something
okay.
stupid. Oh my god. I'm not
But
proud of that one. I'm not proud. So bad. It's,
yeah, that's the only question I got today. So hey, any question is welcome as always.
yeah, man. Appreciate the interaction, you guys. Anytime you want to shoot us questions, whether it be on the night that we're recording or throughout the week, we'd be more than happy to answer them on the air. Give you a shout out, of course. I think that's it, man. Though I think that's it. I mean, it was a good show. It was a good show between you and me, Benji. I'm gonna see you again. What? Wednesday, right?
Wednesday we're gonna cover 205 live, and
And
then we might
NXT.
have a little special thing here and there. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Are we gonna have any? So is your guest gonna be present on the show?
I believe so. As to who it is and all
Hey,
that stuff, you'll
yes.
have to tune in.
Tune in, find out. Benji's and I are inaugural special guest, first ever NXT 205 live show, recording Wednesday, show up Thursday. Thank you guys for listening. Had a great time. Once again, my name is Kyle. You can find me at the Kai Tai Show. Benji, I'll let you close us out, bro.
All right, man. It's Benji. You can find me at Calavera Comedy. You can on all that stuff, and you know, you guys gotta hit that like button, subscribe, do all that stuff. Check us out on the Podbean, Spotify. Your neighbor's house, your grandma's house. You can find us anywhere.
You find us anywhere, all right? We just pop up, all right?
Anywhere. We podcast from the sewers. This is Ninja Turtle. All right. So listen, you people, ask questions, interact, share. Do all stuff. It's up and coming. I know, yeah. There's 1,000 wrestling podcasts out there. Everybody got one.
There's only
whatever.
one Smack Draw podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for listening, man. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.